Hey everyone, welcome back to the Passive Buddies podcast. And today we are covering how to motivate yourself when working alone. As we covered in the last episode, entrepreneurship can be very, very lonely, and we need to know how we can get through things and work by ourselves and absolutely smash it. Today, as usual, we have got our co-host Brandon Duff, who, as self-proclaimed loner in the last episode, is going to have some great tips on exactly how to motivate yourself.
Oh
So,
man,
Brandon, how's things?
I didn't say loner. I said lone wolf. But yeah, I am. My wife would say I'm a total loner too. I would say that I'm a introvert because I don't really typically go out a lot. I'm not a big fan of. And I say this funny. I say this a lot online, or not online, but I say this a lot. Typically, is I like my online friends better than my offline friends because I can just shut them off at any time. Um, it's true. I mean, like if, say, for instance, someone's going back and forth on Messenger, and I'm like, I really don't have time for this. I can just put it away, and it's not like I have to worry about it. I can be like, oh, my internet disconnected, or sorry, like I don't know what happened. But with online people, I can't just be like, I can't walk away. They'd be like, what are you doing? So
I'm done with this conversation. Bye.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I definitely am a loner in a sense. So I do say that I'm a introvert, but I play a good outrovert on TV. Especially when I drink, I can definitely be an outrovert. Yeah, I think that I don't go, like I said, I don't go out. I hang out with myself a lot. I hang out with my amazing dog Picasso. So he's my best bud, besides Brian, my online friend. And so yeah. So what do you? I forgot the question. I think it was just I was a self-proclaimed loner, is what
And he shot to his own defense.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Like, I enjoy my own company to a degree. Like, I enjoy working on myself. I enjoy being in my office. My missus always takes the piss, and she's like, "Oh, God, you love your office more than anything else." I was like, "Well, yeah, it's quite cool. Like, it's quite enjoyable. I've got a view of the blue sky for once, so I can't really complain."
Nice.
Which doesn't happen in England, but
Yeah.
so naturally, as an entrepreneur, we have to sort of go it alone, don't we? We have to take ourselves off from the rest of the world, because the rest of the world are being in the system which we've already decided we don't want to be in. And we don't want to be the 9 to 5, and we don't want to be in those factory lines, or the construction jobs where like the pants are halfway down their ass and they're just chatting a lot of crap. Like, so by naturally being an entrepreneur, we force ourselves to be a bit more alone than what social convention allows us. So that then obviously leads to, well, how do you motivate yourself? Like, how do you motivate yourself to do that work? Like, when you're having down days, when you're having good days, like, how do you get it done?
Well, so I think that you said it kind of, I think we're forced to be loners in a sense, because you said it in the previous podcast, and I don't know if you guys might have missed it, but you said that if you talk to someone in the real world about making money online or entrepreneur, they kind of give you a weird look. And so it's kind of like we're shied away or shunned away about being entrepreneurs in a sense. And I think that a lot of, and when we do talk to these people, it's not like we're getting valuable feedback. So it's kind of like we're they're almost a distraction. And I think a lot of the people that we talk to are a distraction because we're not able to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. We're instead getting negative feedback, and that's not good for an entrepreneur. And so how we do that, I think it's kind of a double-edged sword, is because we do get this negative feedback about entrepreneurship or making money, and those other people that have a regular job or 9 to 5, they don't have that same kind of environment. They hate their job. They're not happy with their boss, and they just don't like what they're doing. I mean, a lot of people have degrees in certain subjects, and they're not even doing the thing that they went to school for. And so I think that it's kind of a double-edged sword, because we we get that negative feedback, we also don't want the negative feedback, so we pull ourselves away and those distractions away. Would you think that's pretty like a good depiction, or do you feel something different?
No, I'd say I'd agree, because if you look at like most of the people in the system, like, which obviously or they may be happy or they may not be happy, but they're not willing to change it, so obviously they've got to accept it. Like, if you look at like what happens, it's like, right, especially in England, it's like, finish work, I can either go to the gym or I can go to the pub. Okay, so I can go to the gym or go to the pub, right? Okay, so gym's not too bad, but the timing doesn't fit. So, and then let's go to the pub, or on a Friday night, let's go out and get wasted. Let's go out and get drunk. And it's like, and then you feel crap Saturday and Sunday. And if you get, as you get older, you probably feel crap Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And like, you, as an entrepreneur, you start to evaluate how valuable your time is.
Yeah.
And then, like, time is the one thing you can't literally buy back the past. You can't do it. You can leverage it to gain more time within that day, but you can't go and get the time that's gone. So, like, with not being able to buy your time back effectively in that way, like, you have to protect it with your life. Like, every minute is so valuable, because you don't actually get that long here, do you? To make that impact that you want to make. If you're looking at building generational wealth, or if you're looking at building a great life for yourself, like, those outings to the pub, those like bumming around playing obviously video games with no purpose, like, and all these like things that people want from you, like your friends, which is not a problem. They want to spend time with you. Obviously, you're a cool guy, aren't you, Brandon? So like, people want to spend time with you, but when you look at the output from that time, that's when you start to make judgments, don't you? You go, right, well,
Right.
It's not actually worth my time. As much as I love you, I will spend some time with you, but I'm not going out and spending all night and coming home at 4 a.m. I was like,
Right.
it's just not worth it, because you lose the next 2 days. You've lost a few at the time, but I will go and have a coffee with you. But you become very selective, don't you? Which does, obviously in turn you into a little bit of a loner.
Yeah, and I think that it's funny because I've kind of not realized this. I think I don't forget who said it to me, but maybe I was listening to on a YouTube. But essentially, they said that a lot of us entrepreneurs, we tend to work all the time because we want to take care of our spouse, our kids, or our family. But then we end up spending all of our time trying to do the thing to take care of them, but we end up not actually spending time with them. And that kind of defeats the whole purpose of why we're doing what we're doing. And so I think that if people listening can take the time, even though they think it's, they're trying to build this business or build this product or whatever it is, they should take the time to spend with people that they love. It doesn't have to be necessarily their friends, but the people like your wife, your husband, your children, whatever that is. And so being able to take a Saturday off or a Sunday off and put work away and schedule that in your calendar as if it was, a productive event, then I think that that's super important. So I think that's one way that I keep myself motivated, is instead of working all the time for my loved ones, I actually take the time out. I literally at 5 o'clock, when like 5:36, when my wife gets home, I put my phone away. I put my computer away. I wouldn't say I put my phone away all the time, but I definitely put my phone away or computer away and log off Facebook. And we have dinner every single night together. We watch a show together. And I think that's motivating for me, because I'm not working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't have that Gary V hustle grind attitude, because I think you should work smarter and not harder. And so some other things, obviously, we talked in the last podcast, being able to take a walk outside, get myself out of the element, being able to jump on these podcasts. They give me motivation first part of the week, or at least halfway through the week, depending on the day that we do them on. So I think these little things that people think that are always work, grind, I feel are more motivating when you step away from work and you're able to do these other things that you love. Being able to take a walk, be able to go to the gym, be able to spend an hour or two with your loved ones, or 3 hours with your loved ones every single night. I think those are what motivate me. What about you?
So like, yeah, obviously the non-negotiables that we spoke about in the past, obviously setting those times to go, no, that's wife time, that's kid time, that's my time, like setting those non-negotiables. Otherwise, as you say, like it's so easy to just work all the time because
It
obviously you're
is.
motivated to build that entrepreneur world that obviously that you're going for. So that obviously helps. It helps separate the two so you're not always working. And then obviously things I do, like if I'm having like a bad day, like if I'm like, oh, I just can't be bothered. Like yesterday, mate, I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, I was like, right, it's YouTube day. I need to record my YouTube videos. And I recorded my first one. I went, that was crap. I was like, that wasn't good enough. I was like, what is wrong with me? I was like, why aren't I upbeat? Like, obviously, today I woke up, I was like, yes, it's podcast day. Let's go,
You
let's go, let's
did.
go.
I remember right when we got, you were energized. I loved it.
But yesterday I wasn't. And it was like, oh, I was like, but I still have my YouTube videos to do. I've still got my schedule. I've still got, I was like, that content that I need to put out to the people and save. I was like, well, how do I do it? I was like, I can't be bothered. And I had a YouTube live yesterday with an absolutely incredible woman, Vendi, who her YouTube channel is like 9,000 subscribers, and it was great. I was really looking forward to it. But before an hour and a half before, I was like, I've got no get up and go. I was like, what have I got to do here? So
we need to switch our days to Tuesdays.
Yeah,
we were talking about it.
So I was like, what do I do here? I was like, how do I get ready? Obviously, because I wanted to perform on this YouTube live. So I actually took to different methods. Like I went in, so I put on some music and just started to like bounce around the house and just relax. I was like, right, it's okay. I'm having a bit of a bad morning. I was like, I don't know why. Nothing's really annoyed me. I was like, right, put on some tunes. I started watching. Obviously, I'm a big sucker for Rocky. I love Rocky. You feel like you want to run the world, like run up those steps and start punching people, but for good reason. So I put on some Rocky motivational music, the Rocky speech. And I was like, right, okay, got on my punching bag for a bit. I was like, bam, right. And then I sat down and went, right, let's go. And it just something kicked in. It was like I took myself away. I didn't put that pressure on to perform. I was like, right, I acknowledge I'm not motivated. What do I do that motivates me? What do I watch? What do I see that motivates me? And then from there, it was like, just do it. I was like, just watch it. I was like, just listen to it. I was walking around the house, like just picking up some clothes and just generally doing stuff. But I had the tunes. I was like, right. I was watching Rocky run up those steps. I was watching him like beat Apollo Creed and kick the ass of like Ivan Drago, bollock his son. I was like, yeah, I'm good with this. I was like, right, sat down, cranked out a couple of YouTube videos, and then went and delivered possibly one of the best lives I've ever delivered. I was like,
love it.
I was like, but I knew, and as an entrepreneur, you've got to recognize those times that if you're having a bad morning, what will get you back on track? Like, because sometimes just pushing through, you're just going to lose the quality. So you have to identify as like, is it a time to push through? Is it a time to step back, sort my head out, and then go again? And it's identifying those situations in that day. Otherwise, if I pushed through yesterday, I would have released 5 bad videos to my audience, and that wouldn't have served them in the best possible way. I would have delivered crap on that YouTube video, on that YouTube live, and it would have been like, I would have finished that day going, do you know what, that was crap. And I would have felt like I've lost a day, where actually I lost 40 minutes remotivating myself, getting myself back together, and delivered an epic day.
And I think that's really cool because I mean, it just shows how self-aware you are with your mindset and being able to identify that. I think that a lot of people aren't self-aware, or they just kind of let the day happen to them. And I think that with you, you're able to identify that, okay, I'm not having the best, I'm not where I should be to deliver the best version of myself. I need to do step A, B, and C, and that should right my positioning and allows me to really just perform at my peak. And I think that's what athletes do. And you have that. I mean, you were an athlete your whole life, and so having that athlete mentality, I think that's also why it's so good for kids to be in team sports and to be in these things, because they teach you how to really kind of have that self-awareness and kind of be in that zone. And I'm sure as an athlete, you know about being in the zone, and all athletes kind of do. And so I think that's so amazing that you can self-correct and put yourself on the right course. And I think that's like a kind of a superpower that a lot of entrepreneurs have, is they have that kind of guidance, that GPS system in their head where they can self-correct. They might need a kick in the butt, like you mentioned, with a mentor sometimes to do that. But a lot of us, and I think that's why to go back to the very beginning of the podcast, is why I am a loner, is because I do self-correct a lot for myself. And so being able to do these things where we're able to self-correct, adjust our course of action, be able to work out and spend time with our loved ones is another way to motivate. Listen to motivational music, motivational stimuli, read a book that might be able to get us going in the right direction. All these things are stimuli to help us keep motivated and keep pushing as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, and I think, as you say, like self-awareness, like it takes time. So for the newbies in entrepreneurship who will be listening, it's like, don't get me wrong, I wasn't always like that, and some days I still just try and power through and have a bad day. And external factors will come into how you decide to push on. Like I remember early on in my entrepreneur career, it was like I was trying to build this thing, the money wasn't coming in, and I was having a bad day, but I just have to get it done. But just having that mindset, that like lack mindset, and that panic mindset it can have a negative effect on the outcome and the output that comes. Like, yes, okay, if you're having a bad day right now, for instance, and this is the reason you're listening, like how to get yourself motivated. If you're having a bad day right now and the money is not coming in like you think it is, or you wanted it to be, you thought you were going to be further ahead, because we always over speculate how far we're going to go when we start. And you're like, everything just feels like it's getting on top of you. You just have to step back, okay? Because if you're getting everything loaded onto you, if you step back, that load's just going to fall on the floor because you're not there to keep it up anymore. So you take a step back and you go and look at what motivates you. Like, take a look around. Like, is it watching a football highlights where someone came back from 3-0 down and won the Champions League final, for instance? Or is it those Rocky films? Like, when you watch like the success story in a Rocky film, does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel like you can run 1,000 miles? I see, like, when I was reading the comments yesterday, it's like, just listen to this, I feel like I can do 100 push-ups. I fucking wish I could do 100 push-ups. But like, you have to recognize, right, okay, it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to take 40 minutes to correct yourself in order to go and have a good day. Like yesterday, obviously, I woke up in that morning, and even my missus was like, "You're not gonna have a great day today." I was like, "Cheers." And she was like, "You just like your mood just doesn't seem right." I was like, so when I done that first YouTube video, I was like, she's right. I was like, something's wrong. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why. Nothing's crazy. I've just woke up having a bad day. I was like, so right, okay. And that self-correction that I had to do is exactly what you need to be looking at. It's like, right, I'm not having a good day. I'm panicked. I'm stressed. All of these lack things that, like, the monster on your shoulder saying you can't do it, you're not making enough, and like, boom, take it away. Just take it away. Take yourself away from the situation. Fix yourself and go back out there. And that's how you will have more productive days. I'd rather waste 40 minutes in the morning self-correcting than wasting my whole day and putting out crap.
Yeah, and I think that's great that you said you talked about watching football clips or Rocky in your instance. And actually, in our circle, I talk about a highlight reel of your life and having like the best moments of your life that you can kind of bring up in your mind and use those as motivation. So like, for me, similar to football, being able to, I remember this one play where I don't know if you guys know what juking is, where you sidestep someone, and I literally jumped over someone and scored a touchdown. It was like one of our highlights of our season. It was to like win the game, and it was pretty cool. So I've played that in my mind. I remember just being in football and before every game, just doing a highlight reel of what I was going to do for the game. And so I think if people do that with their business too, visualize what they're going to accomplish for the day and have that highlight reel, that also is a great motivator to allow them to kind of overcome the issues or having that bad day, because then it kind of, that visualization of being able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And that's kind of one of the mindset things that people do with meditation, scribing, all the I think it's called savers, scribing, affirmations, visualization, exercise. What's R? Whatever R is, and then whatever S is. So it's the Miracle Morning. Their acronym is SAVERS, I believe. But these are all mindset things that people do to keep motivated to create their miracle morning. And so if you haven't read that book, I know Brian will put that down in the show notes, which is a great book to keep you motivated, definitely for mindset. It's how this guy was able to pretty much, he was hit by a car and was not supposed to survive and wasn't supposed to walk again. And then he wrote this book while through recovery, and it allowed him to really change course correct his life.
Nice. Okay, so I think we've literally nailed it in the different types. Obviously, the non-negotiables, the mindset. Obviously, guys, if you sat there thinking visualization, like the whole woo-hoo thing, it actually works. Okay, take your ego, put it to the side, and do that visualization of how your day is going to go. How successful is it going to be? How's that YouTube? How's that piece of content? Like, visualize everything about, from the feeling to doing it to the output. Yes, it sounds woo-woo if you're new to all this stuff, but it really, really works. So definitely take that on board as well. Obviously, I'll put the link for Millionaire Morning in the show notes. And I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, killed this. Loved it.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for today and tuning into the latest episode of the Passive Buddies podcast. And I will see you on the next episode.
Peace.